Number one, this is the first reason my city hates me. Hey everyone, I'm Tom and this is Shifter, a channel all about urban cycling and bike commuting. Welcome to all of you new subscribers out there, and please subscribe down below if you haven't already. So I once knew a guy in the battle days of bike commuting, before bike lanes were around, who said every time he got on his bike to commute, he felt like his city was subconsciously telling him not to ride. He would come across things in his ride that were just so hostile to him on a bike, he felt like the city was, he used to do this, pounding him in the forehead saying, "You don't belong here." Now, I always thought he was being a tad dramatic, but I thought today I'm going to test his theory. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ride my bike to one of my favorite parks downtown, not on the safe bike routes that I've picked up over the years, but on the most direct routes, as if I had never been to the city before, just as the crow flies. And I'm going to count all the pieces of urban infrastructure that are telling me I do not belong here on a bike. And then on the way home, I'm going to do the reverse. I'm going to take all the bike routes that the city has set up over the last few years and just try to compare the differences between the two. Make sense? I don't know what's going to happen. Let's give it a shot. Number one. This is the first reason my city hates me. Stop signs. So you may think stop signs are here to keep us all safe, but that would be true only if you're in a car. Stop signs are made for cars. Cars are the vehicles that maim and destroy. Cars are the destructive vehicle on the roads. Bikes are not, so bikes don't need stop signs. Bikes need yield signs. Well, most of the time. Number two is this quiet residential road. And I spend a lot of time riding on these, you probably do too, and you may feel welcome here. But are you really welcome here? Because what happens when you're on a bike is you are squeezed between moving vehicles and parked vehicles into a tiny little space where people love to open their doors as you're passing by. So if you really were welcome here, would we be squeezed into this space? I don't know. Number three is on-street parking. Look at all of that. It seems sort of innocuous, right? But if you think about it, why do we give up so much space on publicly funded public roads simply for the storage of private automobiles? That makes it seem very welcoming for cars, but maybe not so much for bikes. Oh look, a sidewalk. Number four. Aren't sidewalks the best? A safe place to ride your bike away from cars? Oh wait, you mean I'm not allowed to ride my bike on a sidewalk? It's only for pedestrians? You mean I'm not welcome here? Okay, moving along. Number five is speed limits. In my city, the default speed limit is 50 kilometers an hour, which is great if you're in a car. But when I'm on a bike, I can't go 50 kilometers an hour. And when a car passes me at 50 kilometers an hour, it's pretty scary. So here's another example of the rules being set for cars and not for bikes. And while we're at the topic of roads, why don't we call roads number six? Roads in a city are mostly paid for by taxpayer money, which means I pay for it as much as someone driving a car. But the cars destroy the road and require a lot of maintenance, much more than bikes. And my tax money also has to pay for that giant new freeway, highway, ring road that's being built for billions of dollars, but I'm not even allowed to ride my bike on that. So maybe roads aren't that fair after all. Maybe roads are not that welcoming to bikes either. Okay, I arrived at the park that I wanted to, and it's actually not even that far. I've found all of those 6 things in about a 2-block radius, so you don't really have to go far to find examples of the way the city is not accommodating to people on bikes. I'm kind of tired of pointing out all the bad stuff, so I'm gonna flip it around right now. On the way home, I'm gonna find some bike-friendly routes, and I'm gonna point out some of the good stuff that a city can do to make cyclists feel welcome. Okay, here's something that makes me feel welcome. Look at this. This is a neighborhood that was so tired of car traffic that it's been blocked off. But because bikes aren't the problem, they allow bikes. So cars can't go through here, but bikes can. It's a bit of a shortcut. That makes me feel welcome. Look at that, a 30-kilometer speed limit. I know it's not specifically for bikes, but it sure helps. Sure makes me feel better. Check it, I'm riding in a painted bike lane. Painted bike lanes are not the best, don't get me wrong. But at least it's a start. At least it's something to make me feel like I belong here. Here's another one, bike racks. Not just bike racks, but cool bike racks. These ones spell out the word Beltline, which is the name of this neighborhood. Having a safe place to keep your bike is really encouraging. Now we're talking. Look at this, a separated bike lane. There's a little concrete barrier keeping me safe from the vehicles. This was built specifically for me. It's amazing. It makes such a difference in my ride. It makes me feel welcome, it makes me feel safe. Just a world of difference. This is the game changer. This kind of bike infrastructure is what changes your city from one that tolerates or is even hostile to cyclists to one that welcomes them and encourages them. Okay, so that's it. As you can see, I live in a city here in Calgary, Canada, which is in a bit of transition. We've got some areas that have great bike infrastructure and feel very welcoming, and I love riding in them. And we've got many other areas that are not. So we've got work to do. Bike infrastructure doesn't just happen by magic. It takes a lot of hard work and political will and advocacy. So I hope that's all happening in your city. And if not, one person can make a lot of difference. This is all about infrastructure. Every piece of bike infrastructure is a conscious choice. I hope you learned something today. Thanks for coming with me on this ride, and I'll see you next time.